Hi guys, it's day 100 of 100 days of 1% better. I stopped making videos after day 56 and now it is day 100, so that's November 18th to now December 31st. Well, I'm definitely not in Sri Lanka, Chi-Chi is not here, and I'm in my childhood home in New York. And I came here because November was a very difficult and very jarring month for me, where I really felt like I needed to be home. I needed a different environment, and I needed to get out of this very spiraled headspace that I was in and kind of still am in. I wanted and I was contemplating whether or not to make this video because, honestly, a part of me felt like I was such a failure for not being able to finish this challenge and make daily videos. I remember I put like 2 or 3 statuses saying like, I'll make 6 or 7 videos in one day, and I was able to do that before. But when you reach a really low point, like in September this year, I thought that I reached the lowest point of this year, but November truly was the rock bottom for me, and I just did not have the mental energy or capacity to make videos or really live up to what I really wanted to in the series, whether it was the habit building and working towards those 3 goals, which was to build a brand and website, podcast, to get fit, work on my style, and the third is to live life fully. And while I did do those in bits and pieces, one thing I do have to admit is that in the midst of feeling like a failure, I have to look back on this year with a lot of pride in what I was able to do. I did 75 hard at the beginning of this year, completed it in its entirety, and I made daily content. On top of that, another 56 videos out of the 100 I was able to make, 57 being this if you can include it. But it's really a great opportunity for me to realize my overall ability and capacity, and I believe that this is really truly what I'm meant to do. And in that way, I think in me not completing these 44 videos and making one now, I think there's a deep and an important lesson that we can take into the new year, which is why I'm making this video. I think a lot of people, especially if you're on social media or you see people in general, most people end the year on a high. They end with reels that show some of the best moments of their lives. And even for me, I can't deny I've had some great moments this year. But oftentimes it's very much clouded by the fact that there were very heavy and dark things that happened this year that really brought me to a low place in terms of my overall confidence. Even now, I don't feel my confidence in my voice. I don't feel confident in myself. And that's okay. That shouldn't stop me from sharing this message with anyone. But this is for anyone, whether you're ending the year on a high, whether you're ending the year on a low, that it's okay to have not achieved what you wanted to. It's okay to not end the year in a super fantastic and great mood. But what's important is, what are the lessons here for you to learn, and what can you bring into next year so that you can make it better for yourself, to love and to value yourself? Because think about it, even for me, 75 videos for 75 hard, 56 in this challenge, that's almost 100 plus days of continuous content, which I edited, recorded, and put out myself, which I never thought I was able to do. Most of the time I'm just doing my job or being with my family, being with my friends, and this was a personal pursuit that I really wanted to do. I went to therapy, I did all these things that I didn't think that I would be able to do, but I did it. And I think for anyone out there, whether you're building discipline, you have goals, you have dreams, they're not far from reach, and it's okay to falter and fall in the process. Because I think me not completing this challenge is a reminder to everyone that no one is perfect. I don't think you can ever be perfect, but It signals to you where you need to grow, where you need to change, where you need to learn. And especially for me, one of the things that I want to carry forward into next year is to build a lot of self-worth and self-value. So my discipline is never tied to a goal or what I do, but rather in the pursuit of bettering myself, which in turn can help better other people. And in that way, one of the main things that I want to say is that next year, I really don't want to focus on challenges. I don't want to focus on arbitrary or superficial things sometimes that I feel. But, I'm reading this book by Brené Brown called Daring Greatly. And it talks about how vulnerability is truly the essence of creating better relationships and making you a better person in general. I know vulnerability to be a very strong suit in my life. Vulnerability is the key which unlocks so many unanswered, unopened conversations within people. And that radical honesty is what drives conversations forward and helps people to open up. So what I want to do next year is have these lessons about vulnerability and also bring you guys on the journey of me doing the goals that I wanted to do last year, completing them this year, but also developing self-love, self-value, and having vulnerable and open conversations to really help people to get out of their shells, to help people to realize that they're not far from their dreams, and to really build capable and sustainable discipline, which at times is very, very difficult. But I do have a message for the new year, so I'll let you guys watch it. But Happy New Year. I'm wishing you guys all the very best in 2025. I think I'm going to look back on this video next year with a lot of happiness and a lot of humbleness and pride and whatever. I just know that I'm going to be a different person next year, manifesting it, putting it into this video right now. But that's about it. And I will always end every video saying this, but the world is a better place because of you, because of you. Make sure that you live up to it, and I'll see you next time. See you in 25. Bye-bye.
For those ending the year on not the greatest note on the planet, for those who are suffering and feeling lonely, broken, used, maybe it's time to look back on this year with gratitude. A word that might be hard when you're having a difficult time. But when you look back, you realize that even in the midst of madness, anger, and sadness, there's so much that life has to offer. So much life that you have lived with people who have made you laugh, made you smile, and remember who you are. At the end of the day, we will go and succeed, but it's more about what makes you feel loved, what makes you happy, what brings joy to your soul. And that's what the focus should be every year. It's not changing just on January 1st, but making a point to live our lives each and every day. Because the only way to live life is to keep looking up and to keep going forward.